Hi, I'm Phil Richards, and we're at the Juno Lighting Group Remote Idea Lab Studios. Today we're going to talk about the Trac 12 Mini-Monopoint. This diminutive fixture installs through a 2-inch round opening, and what you see at the end of the installation is a 2.5-inch diameter plate. The mounting plate accommodates any Trac 12 fixture, halogen or LED, directional or a pendant, and they install this easily. I'm going to snap that right in, and that little knurled piece right there slips into the hole at the end of the aperture where my contact's made. The product actually is held in place by some springs that are flexed up as I feed it through the hole and then released. These springs will accommodate a ceiling or surface up to 3/4 inches in depth of any material, including wood. You can see that that monopoint part is actually attached with a kind of a flexible hinge. Here's my power, and here's my support to a wiring chamber, and in this case, an electronic transformer. The electronic transformer must be compatible with an electronic low-voltage dimmer. In the non-transformer version, you would run this from a remote transformer, and this same compartment would serve only as a wiring chamber. At the far end of that chamber is a take-all connector that's attached to the housing with 2 screws, and of course this will accommodate either armored cable or Romex. So let's begin our installation. I've already had our house electrician bring power to the installation. Naturally, the power has been turned off at our circuit breaker panel. Next, we need to drill a 2-inch diameter hole. But before we begin that, we need to make sure that there's no insulation present in the ceiling. We need a minimum of 6-inch depth, and that is to accommodate the distance that our wiring chamber takes as we push it up through that 6-inch hole. Remember, the product can be installed either in a horizontal position or a vertical position. This could accommodate perhaps a directional, like we showed you before, a pendant maybe that you'd want to hang over an end table next to a sofa, or your vertical applications would possibly include wanting little directionals to kind of aim back into a niche where you have a statue or some sort of object of interest. And so we can aim that from a vertical surface as well. We can install the product in a new construction or remodel environment. So let's begin by drilling our 2-inch hole. So let's pull our wire through the hole. The next thing that we need to do is actually prep the product for installation. The first thing that I'm going to do is remove that cover that goes over the transformer to expose my wiring compartment. And I need a Phillips screwdriver. I'm going to remove the 2 screws that are holding the wiring compartment cover on. And you can see that inside of that wiring compartment, I have 3 wires, a black hot, a white neutral, a green ground, and in this case, also my electronic transformer. Next, I'm going to open up that take-all connector so that it can receive my armored cable by loosening the screws on either side of that connector so that it will accommodate that 3/8 inch diameter armored cable. Yes, and I can remove those wire nuts in preparation for fastening them to the wires from my supply. You notice that when I remove this cover, there's only one travel path for wiring to get in or out of this fixture. That means that this fixture is not compatible with through branch wiring, otherwise known as daisy chaining. So you've only got 1 feed per fixture with no additional knockout to transfer over to a continuous row of these. I'm going to set my fixture down, grab my wire nuts that come supplied, and walk over to my installation. I'll feed that armored cable through my junction box cover, tighten the 2 screws that fasten the armored cable to the cover, and make sure that everything is nice and snug. Next, I'll bring my fixture over, and I'll fasten my black to my black, twisting on my wire nut. I'll fasten my white to the white, and my green to my green, my ground connection. Carefully then, I'm going to push those wires back into my wiring chamber with the transformer. Next, I'll fasten my cover to the back of that transformer cavity and tighten those 2 screws. Okay, now that the wiring compartment cover is on, I'm ready to actually install the product, and I'm going to push that transformer and wiring compartment through the ceiling and flex my springs vertically. There's my Mono-Point, nice and flush and tight to the ceiling. So the installation of our Mono-Point is complete. We'll restore power back at the circuit breaker box. And now let's try out a fixture. Again, I'm taking that little knurled part on the connector, and I'm going to twist that, and there you can see. Nice little directional fixture. And there you have it. Another successful installation. That's our Trac 12 LED compatible Mini-Monopoint. I'm Phil Richards for Juno Lighting Group.